Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Town Board of the Town of Ossining regular meeting for Tuesday, February 25th, 2020. Please rise and join me for the Pledge of Allegiance, and please remain standing for a moment of silence following the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which it stands, one nation, under God, justice. Silence. Learned over the weekend that Marilyn Orts, a former town councilwoman and supervisor of the town of Ossining, passed away. Marilyn served the town of Ossining starting in 1978 as a member of the town board, serving several terms through the 1980s and early 90s. Marilyn even stepped into the role of supervisor for 6 months in 1993, filling the unexpired term of former supervisor Richard Wishney. Thank Marilyn for her many years of service to the town of Ossining and extend our deepest condolences to her friends and family, especially her children, Janet and Bill. Sad time. That's in a moment of silence in memory of Marilyn.
Councilwoman Feldman,
Present.
Councilwoman Shaw,
Present.
Councilman Wiltshire, and Supervisor Levenberg.
I am. Okay, so first up, we have a public hearing in the matter of the 2020 cabaret license renewal for Maya Riviera. And I would like to just open it up. Council, did you want to say anything before we begin the public hearing, or do you want me to just invite people up first?
I think we'll hear from the public first.
Okay.
If that's okay with you.
All right. So is anybody here that would like to address the board on this renewal of a cabaret license for Maya Riviera? Going once, twice. Okay. With that,
So they have submitted a complete application and it's been signed off on by the building inspector and the police chief. One thing I just wanted to bring to this board's attention is that in past years, the applicant had requested to extend the hours during which they could play music, amplified music. In the code, it states that it's until midnight on Fridays and Saturdays. In the past, the board first authorized a provisional approval of that for a certain period of time to see how it went. And then last year did it outright, allowing amplified music on Fridays and Saturdays until 1 o'clock instead of 12 o'clock set forth in the code, which is a discretion that is provided to this board in the cabaret code. What the applicant appears to be requesting now in their new application is to allow amplified music until 1 a.m. 7 days a week, Monday through Sunday. Now, the code states that for Sunday through Thursday nights, there shall be no amplified music after 11 p.m., but again, does give the board the discretion to extend that time to a later hour in appropriate circumstances as determined by this board. So if the board were inclined to grant the application as currently presented, it would be in a situation where it's extending the hours for amplified music beyond what is generally contemplated in the code. And so I just wanted the board to be aware of that.
I mean, I think what we could do is something similar to what we did year one, which is to extend it for 6 months, see how it goes, and then if all goes well, to just allow it to continue for the rest of the year. We don't receive any complaints.
What you actually did in 2018, it was extended for 3 months. So if you want to stick with that or give it 6 months, just that was how it went in the past.
Okay.
I like to revisit it at 3 months.
Agreed. We
So-
haven't had any complaints to date with them.
Not as far as we know. No.
Yeah, the police chief had to review the application and I believe indicated that there were no issues.
It's actually not checked. It doesn't, seems like,
We could get this is the public hearing, so the board wouldn't generally take action tonight
Right.
anyway.
right.
Because a resolution would be prepared for the following meeting.
Mhm.
So we can just get confirmation from the police chief on that. And then the board can move forward if you're inclined with an appropriate approval, perhaps a provisional approval of 3 months for the hours of 11 a.m. to 1 a.m. 7 days a week, and then bring them back. I guess that would be late May, early June.
It is, I mean, I think that the police review is on like the page, let's just say 4 on the back, where it says, have any complaints been made within the last 3 years? No.
Right.
No complaints in the last 3 years. Just, it's right, the first 4, it's in
Yeah.
page 4 of the total packet there. Right at the beginning. On the back of that.
Yeah.
Right, so that's where that is. So, we'll just prepare a resolution that would incorporate the,
The 3 month, I can certainly prepare something for the next meeting. If there are no other comments from the public and if the board has no further issues, you can, if you want to, move to close the public hearing.
okay. So, I have a motion to close the public hearing.
So moved.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. So, right along, we do have a few announcements. Did you know that yesterday, Monday, February 24th, was Paul Frioli Day in the town of Ossining? A big congratulations goes out to our town village engineer, Paul Frioli, PE, who was honored last Thursday by the Westchester Putnam chapter of the New York State Society of Professional Engineers as Outstanding Engineer in Government at their annual National Engineers Week dinner. So many people came out from our town and village, including our town village clerk. Thank you very much. To recognize all of Paul's many years of committed work to our municipalities. We presented Paul a proclamation from the town, which we hope to give to him at the next board meeting he attends so we can celebrate in style. We hope you'll take some time to reach out to Paul to congratulate him and thank him for so much of the infrastructure work that is in place sturdily for many years because of him. Thank you, Paul, for all you do for the residents of the village and town of Ossining. And since we're starting out our announcements with some recognitions, I think I'm going to go and do one special recognition for a friend of ours who's in the audience tonight, Stanley Dorsonville. Tonight, I wanted to take the opportunity to recognize someone who has become a fixture at our town board meetings in recent months, Stanley Dorsonville, District Representative for Senator David Carlucci, who has religiously attended all of our town board legislative meetings since starting in this role last year. We have all grown quite fond of Stanley and greatly appreciate his dedication to the Ossining community and thoughtfulness in his efforts to help make Ossining a place we all want to live, work, play, and prosper. And I would like to also add that beyond just coming to all of our legislative meetings, Stanley sometimes stops by our office. He will come to other meetings. He was very involved in our climate adaptive design studio meetings, and he came to many of those. And he always weighs in and he always offers thoughtful suggestions and ideas and approaches to how we can make it better here in Ossining and in the surrounding areas. Stanley's moving on to his next challenge, so we thought it would be appropriate to send him off with a certificate of appreciation for his service to the town of Ossining during his time working for Senator Carlucci. We do know that he has somebody in tow. Paul, hi Paul. Paul's going to be coming to the meetings now, and we know he's going to be great. But meanwhile, Stanley, we are going to miss you. Best of luck, and please keep in touch. So, without further ado, Stanley, on up. Certificate of appreciation. On board? See, Paul, something to aspire to. Okay. So we started out this week with a press conference officially launching our food scrap recycling program here in the town of Ossining. And yes, Stanley was there. Along with our partners at Teatown Lake Reservation, Green Ossining representatives from village, town, county, and state government, and our stakeholders, we cut the ribbon at our drop-off site at Cedar Lane Park. You can now purchase your residential kit for $20 at Cedar Lane Art Center on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays from 9:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. or at Teatown from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. 7 days a week and get started collecting. And since we have our parks foreman in the house, shout out to Mario Vlardo and his department for getting the site ready. And I think that it's been going pretty well. We have some new signs up to point people that way when they come into the park, and great signage at the site itself to tell you exactly what's okay to put in and what's not. Food scraps that are dropped off at Cedar Lane Park will be recycled into compost at a commercial compost facility in Ulster County. This program is open to all town of Ossining residents, yes, including those that live in the villages of Ossining and Briarcliff. So I hope everyone takes advantage of this exciting new opportunity. For more information, visit OssiningComposts.org. We are winding down to the end of February, so I wanted to take the opportunity to recognize Black History Month and the importance of celebrating the diversity of the American experience. I had the opportunity to participate in some of the local events scheduled in Ossining in honor of Black History Month, and they were incredible ways to stop and reflect upon the more complicated and upsetting aspects of our nation's history, as well as some of the incredible, talented artists that we have here in Ossining who are artists of color. I encourage you to take time this week to learn more and perhaps consider attending one of the programs the Ossining Public Library is offering this week, including an African show presented by Rita Wagner tomorrow, Wednesday, February 26th at 7 p.m. in the Boudars Theater. This program will focus on the fashion, dance, and culture of Africa, led by Ms. Wagner, a native of Uganda. The art show Photographic Memories by the Westchester Photographic Society is also still on display until Friday, February 28th. As a reminder, we are less than 1 month away until all households will start receiving invitations by mail to participate in the 2020 U.S. Census. Keep an eye out in your mailbox between March 12th and March 20th for the postcard that will provide you with the necessary information to participate in the census count. You will be able to respond using a smartphone, computer, or by calling. And then much later, if you haven't responded by any of those methods, you will have an opportunity to respond by mail. You will be able to respond using, I'm sorry, I already said that, an accurate count is super important. Did you know that children under 5 years old were among the most undercounted during the U.S. Census? In 2010, nearly 1 million children, or about 5% of children under 5, were not counted, according to the U.S. Census. Learn more about the upcoming 2020 census at www.census.gov so that you will be prepared come March for your invitation. The New York State plastic bag ban goes into effect next weekend on March 1st. Start the habit now. Make sure you always have a reusable bag or two with you when you go to the grocery store. Did you know that New Yorkers use over 23 billion plastic bags every year? We're pleased that this new law will help limit the devastating impact that they have on our environment. Learn more about the plastic bag ban online at www.dec.ny.gov. The Ossining Public Library has started an online book club. Grab your copy of The Silent Patient by Alex Michaelides and start, I don't know if I pronounced that right, did I? We don't know. And start following #OPL Reads on Facebook to participate in the discussion starting next Saturday, February 29th. Also on February 29th at 6:30 p.m., join the Ossining Arts Council for their Super Supper fundraiser at the Steamer Gallery, 117 Main Street. Tickets are $25 for members, $30 for non-members for a homemade soup meal inside of a homemade ceramic bowl. There will also be live music by Deuce's Child. Tickets can be purchased at OssiningArtsCouncil.org. The Village of Ossining's Ossining Arts Project is hosting its next artist collaboration network on Sunday, March 1st from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. at El Manabita, 107 Main Street. Join in to mingle with other local artists, let people know what you're up to, and hear what other artists are creating, all with an eye towards creative collaborations. RSVP to the Austin Arts Project at gmail.com. And that is it for my announcements. Do any of my colleagues have anything to add?
I'll just do the IFCA plug. IFCA has the Volunteer Income Tax Assistance Program going on till April 15th. Call 914-941-5252 to make an appointment, or come in on Monday from 1 to 3. That's our walk-in times, and 4 to 7 at OHS.
All right. Okay. From our clerk, because sometimes you might have an extra announcement or two. I'm going to give you an opportunity. Do you have anything? Okay, just checking. Because I will say that we're trying to jumpstart our local Kiwanis Club, which our Madam Clerk is our president. So if anybody's interested in joining to support our youth, there's an opportunity to do that. Stanley, if you're around in Austin, March 4th at 7:30 at the Elks Lodge, I think, is the next meeting of the Kiwanis Club. And they're going to be electing some new officers. I'm happy to nominate you for any open positions. But I know that you're not going to be around Austin anymore. So, okay. But anyway, it's just a thought. Okay. Next up, we have our departmental reports. And I would like to invite up Honorable Holly Perlowitz, our receiver of taxes, to give us an update on what is going on in the tax office in the town of Austin.
Good evening, Madam Supervisor and Town Board. I have a presentation up there, but I've also asked that you have it in front of you because it might be a little difficult to see. So today I'm going to be reviewing the 2019 2019 tax warrants that comprise what we collect during the course of the year. And I'd like to share that the total between the town and county in both school districts, it's $143 million. And thus far, we've collected 98.07% of that. So I'm really very pleased with how things are going. And I have to say that both collections this year went very smoothly, and it resulted in, in a very good situation in terms of our collections. I just would draw your attention just so that you have the full picture. So of the $143 million in warrants, we collected over $140 million. We still have approximately $2.8 million to collect. And I just want to sort of clarify for you that that $2.8 million is certainly higher than it will be by July. And why I mentioned July is when we're required to turn all of our delinquent 2019 taxes into a tax lien and file it with Westchester County. So the reason I know it'll be less is we just sent out the delinquent letters for the second half of the school taxes. It just went out on February 17th, and I can already see a lot of online activity. People are paying online. A lot of people are doing this sort of thing because the vast majority of the reason why people don't pay, no matter how much I try to remind and email alert and talk it up wherever we go, people just occasionally forget. So I can see that the delinquent letters are working and people are paying online. Mail is starting to come in with payments, and lots of activity in that way. And I'm glad, because the penalty, excuse me, is 10% until the end of March, and then it increases to 12%. So I'm really hoping that by then we see an even greater reduction in the outstandings. In addition to that $2.8 million in outstanding taxes between the town and county and the school, there's also our regular liens, and you can see that they reduce year after year. Right now, the 2017 liens if they're not redeemed by before an auction is scheduled, which will be sometime over the summer, those will actually go to auction. So in total, our outstanding receivable balance is $3.8 million. And given we started out with $143 million, I think it's a really very good performance. And I'm very grateful to the taxpayers of the town of Ossining, I think, for taking their responsibility very seriously. I just wanted to, I guess I should ask, are there any questions about the chart, anything on there that you'd like me to expand upon? I know it's a lot of numbers and I really don't know how to make it exciting other than telling you that things are going very smoothly. So I just want to highlight for you what I sort of call the objectives of the town of Ossining, and it's our manifesto, so to speak. And that's that we want to make sure that we prepare our tax bills so that they're legible, understandable, and that they're delivered on time. And I think we've been meeting that objective for the last, since we've been meeting that objective. We've updated our bills. We use laser printing now, and I think they're a lot clearer. They're easier to read and also easily electronically transmitted if we have to. I mean, a lot of taxpayers, well, if they want to, everybody can get a paper bill, but we do have taxpayers that don't get it in the mail or are traveling or living someplace other than where the bill goes, and it's just a lot easier to transmit electronically. Certainly that's the way the world's going. So first objective, to prepare and deliver our tax bills so that they're legible and easy to read, and provide all the information that's necessary. To collect our taxes in as many ways as possible to meet the needs of the crazy busy lives that everyone leads right now. So you can pay them online, you can pay them at the post office. We have a dedicated mail slot. Certainly you can mail them to us. You can come in and visit us. Our tax office hours are 8:30 to 4:30, except on the last 2 days of collection when they're extended. I also think, and this is probably the most important thing to me, is that the tax office has a welcoming and supportive face to our taxpayers. I have said when I first got this job, nobody's running into our office clicking their heels anxious to pay their taxes. So the least we could do is be welcoming and responsive to any of their needs, and certainly to our taxpayers, but also to those people who serve our taxpayers, like real estate brokers and tax search agents and people that come into our office. So that's really important to me. And again, it's what I speak to in the people who work in our office. All of that has to be met with the lowest possible dollars that we can expend, and we have saved money on personnel and also utilizing new technologies. So I'm pleased with that. What's coming up for 2020 and what I think is very exciting in the tax office is we have 2 more tax warrants that are coming up for 2020. And we do this all over again. There is possibly an auction in the summer for the in-rem properties that I mentioned, the ones that have a 2017 lien. We also are going to begin work on a new collection system, which probably won't launch until March or April of 2021. It takes a lot of time, but it's more modern than the one that we've been using. And we're excited for that. So, any questions?
I don't think so. I think you actually answered all my questions. Thank you for being so thorough. And I know that I've already shared some of this with you, but I often get stopped on the street to say what a great job you're doing and how helpful you've been to any assorted particular taxpayer and making sure that they get their taxes in on time and don't get stuck with a big penalty. So I know that there's lots of people in town who very much appreciate all your personal touch, the kindness that you approach every particular situation, which there are many, and just the professionalism which you portray and that you exhibit in the office every single day, and same with your staff. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for your time.
Anybody else have any
Yeah, I
questions?
have
or-
to mirror what Supervisor Levenberg said, that I get a lot of comments about, positive comments about your, how helpful you were and how pleasant you were to work with, even when they had to give you money.
Yeah.
So,
Thank you. Thank you.
It's certainly nice coming from the most difficult office, probably. Thank you very much. Okay, next up, we have our Parks Foreman, Mario Velardo, to give a little bit of an update on what's been going on. Your crew, you've had some changes in your department, and lots of good work happening, and it's been kind of spring-like in the winter. So even though you like to do all your indoor projects in the winter, you've gotten to spend a little bit of time outside. So what you got for us, Mario?
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Madam
Good evening.
Supervisor, Town Board. Yeah, this winter was kind of disappointing. We didn't get to plow as much as thought we were going to, but it is what it is. It feels like spring is here. It looks like spring is here, but still get some snow. I have some pictures to show. Some work that's not on here, obviously, that no point of showing. Our leaf season is our last final cuts, and we mulch in place. We've been doing that for a couple of years now. It's we took out our docks in December, and we winterized all our bathrooms in the Spray Park. And we've had some burials from the fall, and we actually have one tomorrow. So we had several burials, as well as obviously we're taking over Dale Cemetery.
I was gonna say not in the town
Right.
parks. We don't have any burials in the town parks, just for
Yeah,
for the public.
At the cemetery.
Right.
Dale Cemetery.
yeah.
And we actually had one in Sparta last year. Yeah, last year. Good one. But that was it. This was in the fall. We had some prep work and drainage work we did for the RYDER paving. This is down by the tennis court. It was always a wet area, so we were able to just find the pipe, connect it into the brook. And this is part going down to the ball field. We actually widened the road. It'll be less congested, which RYDER Park, especially on the weekends, between all the ball fields being used, just havoc getting in and out of there. But now 2 cars could easily pass by. This was right across from the tennis courts. We had a tree survey done, and before the paving, tried to take down all the dead trees. We had about 10 dead trees, and about 3 of them were on their way out, so not have to disturb any of the paving. Decided to cut them before the paving got done. This was up by the pavilion. This in the wintertime, always iced over. There's in the back there behind the blower. There was like a natural spring here that we were able to find. There was an old pipe tied into the old existing pipe that was there. Eventually, this water up into our pond. You could already see some water right there accumulating as we were putting the pipe in, and that's just finished with trap rock. So even all the water that runs on the hill going to the pipe. We didn't have any icing. Granted, it wasn't that cold this year, but the couple weeks that it was cold, we didn't have any ice over the new pavement. This was in front of our shop just before, just the patching up of all potholes, and then this is the new pavement. This is the road up by the pavilion. This is the new paving. Had to put some millings here just to meet new paving. And this is from our shop going out. This is a before picture. Oh, there was no after picture. But if you've been to RYDER Park, everything's newly paved. This is down at the waterfront. Swings broke this year.
Can I just go back to RYDER for 1 second? Except the parking lot by the ball fields, which we're not
Parking
planning.
lot, no, that did not
Paved.
get paved. That we're putting millings down. That we have.
Thanks.
Be doing in the spring sometime.
Okay.
This was or this is the waterfront. Our swings are here, and it was like a tire swing in the back here. Swings just collapsed this year, so had to go down. We removed them. We had to dig out all the wood chips and the footings of the old swing sets to put in. All right, now we're back at RYDER.
Okay. Whoops. Well,
All right, so here's the new pavement, and now we only were able to do this one section by the playground. Um, so in the spring, we'll have to do all the edges around the new pavement and just regrade everything. And because right now in some areas the blacktop is higher, so we'll just have to plant dirt and red dirt and plant some grass. This is Buck Johnson. Eventually ties into the waterfront. So the same thing. We had an old playground here. We had to take it down. Swing set we had to take down, just old and rotting away. So same thing. We had to dig out all the wood chips, the pile, wood chips. We had to, and there was stumps and whatever we found we had to take out. And something. I thought there was going to be a finished playground, but it's not. This was shed, baseball shed at RYDER Park. It's mainly for the batting cage nets, pitching rubbers, and whatever storage we have. They used to bring it over to Vets Park every winter, so now it's right behind the batting cage at RYDER Park, between the middle field and the Finch field.
And it was donated by JCYS, and we just put the funding in. We can also use it for storage for some of
Yeah,
Uh,
we'll be using
rakes or whatever.
well some of our ball field stuff, and there's a fence out there that we put out in the middle field. Put it out now, and then we'll take it out in the winter, and we'll easily store it in there. This was in our shop this winter. We got a new toolbox. The floor was unlevel, so we had to pour a little floor for it to make it level, so it doesn't keep moving around. This was a new shelf we got. Mark was saying how comfortable it was, so that's Mark in there. If he's missing this summer, I know where to find him. I'm just kidding. This was Halloween. I know. Sorry. This is why it's jumping, because I went order of how we did the work. So that's why so now we're in October. This would have been, obviously, this is the Halloween hayride we had. The haunting at Cedar Lane, we had to make a new sign because they changed the name. This is what it looks like in front of the shop before they walk into the haunted garage. And this is two of the characters that were inside the garage. And it was probably their best year that they had. So, and it was easy for us without the hayride and all that stuff. This was new Muga now at GERLACH Park. We had to do some clearing in the back. It's a multi-use court. It's going to be used for basketball, street soccer, and maybe pickleball. It's up. The only thing that has to be done in the spring is we'll have to get it paved and then all the lining. This is the bathroom at the waterfront. One of our projects for the spring is we're redoing all our bathrooms. This is just demo. We took out all the fixtures, the stalls. We actually patched up these holes already. Just did the men and women's room at RYDER Park, the ceilings. So we'll be doing the waterfront next. We'll be painting them, new fixtures, and hopefully they'll be a lot better than what they were, and new stalls. This was the playground, the new playground at Buck Johnson after we took everything off. This is a piece to the left is workout equipment. It's I guess you could say it's kind of CrossFit. And then on the right side is just, I don't know what it is.
Little
It's
kids.
a little kid, yeah, it's a car, it's like a truck, and
Play
it just has
area.
all these little features for younger kids.
It's still appealing to the same age that the other pieces of equipment that we removed.
The other side is older. There's
The existing piece is
Right.
older.
for older kids. This was us putting the wood chips. We actually rented a machine this year and actually worked out. We were able to do 240 yards of mulch in 3 days, and we didn't have to make a mess driving back and forth on the lawn. We actually parked this on the road. You see our excavator there. I fed it wood chips into it, and it just shot it out through a hose. So it was time-wise, it was just great. Mark would come, drop the containers off, go fill up the other one. I would load it. Alvin would use the hose and just spread the wood chips. This is the waterfront. Same thing. We have some workout equipment there. And the swings, there are the swings. That's Alvin in a new swing. We have a ADA swing now. We never had. That was pretty comfortable. I didn't try it. This was when we were there back in January doing the wood chips. What the beach looked like. We cleaned it. We took out, back then, 2 containers full of just logs and any debris that washes up. This was cleaning at the Cedar Lane behind the salt shed. Cleaned up the side and the back of it. We leveled it off, and we're going to be making storage for us and the highway as well. So there shouldn't be anything in front of it anymore. Everything will be behind it. Off to the side as well. We cleared out all the dump blacktop, and hopefully this year we'll try to keep the parking lot clean where we're not going to be dumping in there anymore. Just finished. We kind of put the mafia blocks to block. There's an opening there just so when you drive in, you really don't see. I mean, you're still going to see it, but at least it's blocked. And everything will be to the side and the back, nothing in front. This is where the food scraps are now. This is the new sign. We had it covered until we just opened it a couple weeks ago. I just took this picture because I saw someone actually using it. And then we were there the other day doing some work, and we actually saw somebody else, and we went over and asked them how it was going, and they loved the idea. So it is getting used. This is just a sign we put at the triangle to point them to the right direction. This is just one of the hills. This is an area we can't mulch. It's right across from the pond, and then there's another hill at the art center. Just the leaves we blow off, and then we just dump them, the dirt. Use it as compost. This was a storage at RYDER we put up. It's a 20 by 20 storage structure. We actually had this, I don't know, for like maybe 10, 12 years sitting at Cedar Lane Garage. I came across it when we cleaned it 3, 4 years ago, whenever it was, for the hayride. We actually had time to put it together this winter. So the idea is that'll hold all our attachments for our skid steer, our excavator. This is the house at Cedar Lane, the REUBEN house. We had to board it up because this window right here in the middle broke. Someone pried off plywood that we had on there. But before we boarded it up, we walked through with the cops. We didn't see any signs of anybody living in it or anything else damaged. It was pretty clean, so we just boarded it back up, whatever windows were open. This was last week or 2 weeks ago. We cleaned the beach again for the Sing Sing Polar Plunge. I don't remember how many people it was, but it was packed. They raised a lot of money, and everything went well. While we were down there cleaning the beach, we put the display case we received last year. This will hold, I guess, whatever functions are going on, any flyers that we put up, and then also tell the people which areas are being used for the picnics. And we also put a dog waste receptacle here. And we also put a new one at Cedar Lane by the pond. And we'll be putting one at Sally Slope when we finish it. This, back to the storage structure we put up at RYDER. Once we put our attachments in there, the whole 20 by 20 area our attachments just took everything up. So we made these racks. So basically, instead of taking the whole area, it'll literally just take up 6 feet in the back, and we made the slab for it to sit on. And we'll be able to stack all our attachments on top of each other in the back, and then still keep our plows, the skid steer, and the excavator under it. This is the water pit at GERLACH Park. I know DMAR's been asking me for years to get this replaced, and we finally got it done. We did it in aluminum. So to the right, it's just a hatch now. You unlock it, you take the cover off. It's light, and it should last. This was across from the art center. This was another pit. That's how it's been. We have had the steel plate and a rock over it for years. We actually do our confined space training in here. Same thing. There's a door there. It's just locked. And like I said, we only go in there once a year when we do our confined space. It's the old, I'm assuming it's an old pit for when they drew water out of the pond. and or when they made ice, whatever they did. Is another pit at Cedar Lane. This one we actually do use. See on the left, the pallet was over it, just some sort of protection. But this one controls the level, the water level in the pond. So we actually extended the key that turns the valve on and off, so we don't have to actually open it anymore. We just unlock it. We don't have to open the door anymore. We just unlock the lock, and we're able to turn valve on and off without actually having to open and reach in there.
People can't go turn that on their own.
Locked. The chain on it. You can't see it, but there's a chain on it with a lock. The upcoming spring projects, we're in the process of doing the bathrooms now. We will be doing Ryder Park Pavilion, the waterfront, and GERLACH. We'll be doing our regular spring cleanups at all our parks and cemeteries. Ball field prep for the spring sports. Sally slopes will be our main spring projects. I don't want to start any big projects until this one's done.
Did you sign that on your note sheet?
Well, I keep
I'm
looking at Liz because I know it's
just wondering.
you.
I tried to get him to sign before.
I appreciate that.
No, we will be there. It's tough. Now coming up with the spring for us is it's going to be new. Never done the cemetery in the spring, so it's going to be juggling a lot of stuff. But
Right, we're gonna get you to sign it before the end of the night. Don't worry.
Paving the Muga, which you guys saw at GERLACH Park. We have ribbon cutting for the new playground equipment at Buck Johnson, April 18th, and the waterfront will be on Earth Day, April 25th.
Newly announced. Board members, mark those days down in your
Right.
calendar. They're
Were we
both
gonna do
Saturdays.
April? Were we gonna do,
They're both Saturdays.
May?
There's too much other stuff.
Those are days I was told.
Yeah, it's after the baseball parade's April 4th. And so that's the official kickoff of spring and things that have to do with parks. So, and that's also, I think, the egg extravaganza, which is not taking place in our parks again this year, but will be taking place at the community center. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. Keep going.
April 25th is Earth Day, so we'll have our Earth Day prep that week or the day before. It's not that much prepping. Working on getting prices for the caretaker's house at RYDER. New siding, roof, and windows will not be done in-house. Getting prices for ice house roof repairs. I met with 2 contractors so far for that. They each have their different opinions. One saying that it's repairable, but you don't know what's going to happen next year. It's slate. You don't know. Like the other day we went there and the slate was on the floor. So is it worth just getting a new roof or fixing that one? I don't know. But something needs to be done because we're using the building and you don't want to happen. We'll be installing benches at Buck Johnson. We'll be assisting with the installation of the Cedar Lane docks this spring. And we'll be putting in our docks.
All right, fantastic. A little bit of work ahead of you, I guess. Any questions from the board about any or all of this? The only thing I just wanted to add is that, what do we call it? Like the bulletin boardy kind of thing. What's it called? At ENGEL that you just,
I call it display case.
display case. Thank you. Display case. It's to let people know if any of the 3 picnic areas have been permitted. Like there'll be some indication there that you need to check, because if you have a group of 20 or more that you want to use one of the 3 permitted picnic areas, then you need to apply through the recreation department. So that's something that you can do. And just a little bit of a shout out to the village. They just had an event last night to collect input from various vendors and local businesses, brick and mortar businesses, as well as anybody interested to talk a little bit about their events policy. And I was in attendance, and we were hoping to work together, since we share a recreation superintendent, on any best practices that we can incorporate to improve our current somewhat difficult and hard to understand process of events, renting space for events and food trucks and permits and all the other things that go with it for spaces in our parks. But we do have lots of great events coming up in the spring and the summer, and I think that we're going to be announcing all of the bands for our summer concert series, which is going to be for Friday nights. We have a date scheduled for our Independence Day fireworks, currently July 2nd, which is a Thursday night this year that we talked about. And even though Mario didn't really get into that because it's a little farther out, we know that a lot of this stuff that is going to be happening for spring is getting ready for the summer. And we also are going to have Mind, Body, Spirit Austining again, and we're partnering again with Open Door on that. And lots of other great things happening all around our parks. So we thank you for all of the phenomenal work that you guys do every day. Those are a lot of very big projects that you took care of, and a lot of cleanup, which I think people are really going to appreciate between.
That was one thing we concentrated this year between Ryder Park and Cedar Lane parking lot. They are parking lots.
Right. I mean, they're parking lots for parks, but they're going to be actually have room to park your cars because there's going to be less of our stuff taking up space in those lots. I mean, even the food scraps. I mean, it takes up, I think, one parking space, if that, at the very end of the lot. But it's neat and it's orderly and it's easy to find. And I think that, again, all of the work that we've been doing, and we worked with our clerk recently to get all of the dog park policies in place. So Sue, thank you very much for that. And we're hoping that that's going to, I mean, it's already in process as people are coming in for, I think, for their licenses. I think it's starting in June. When are we going to start giving out the tags, or did that already start to happen?
Dog park?
Yeah.
That would be in June. June 1 is going to be the new.
Is when we'll have, right.
June 1 will be the new start of your dog license year, but we have some prorating to do, and because right now we stagger the dog tags, but we have moved everyone over to town dog tags instead of there was a time there was village dog tags and town dog tags. So everybody will be a town dog tag now, and then in May we'll start giving out the tags that allow you to go to the dog park for this as part of the package, which at the same price and everything that a dog license was, I should say. Not a tag, a license. We do encourage everyone to license their dog. You can look online. We will start putting on Facebook all the requirements. We do ask you to have a rabies certificate with you, but call the clerk's office if you need any information about licensing your dog, but it's important that you do that. One thing I noted when I was at Sterling Park weekend is that, believe it or not, all the parking taken up by the food scraps, like on that whole parking lot. So I think maybe we should have one designated food scraps.
What do you mean by the food scraps program?
By the receptacles over by the
All of the
parking taken up by people playing volleyball.
Oh, okay.
So
I thought you meant by
think
people using the food scrap
No.
program.
No.
That was a
There
little
was
confusing.
nowhere for someone who wanted to drop off park, so maybe we should designate one spot near the drop-off area for people to be able to come in and out with their food scraps.
I see.
Just
Okay.
a thought.
No, well, we also started. I forget the two people's names of the two people from.
Oh, Phyllis, Bach, and Nadia. Is that from T-Town?
No, from the original place where it started.
Oh, Michelle and Ron.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they said
Michelle
start
and Ron Schuhoff.
just easy, like not to spend any money. Obviously, if it takes off and it's something, the plan is to maybe just take that post out that's there, just move it back a couple of feet. That's why I put the sign further back.
Okay.
Moved, and you're really not in the parking lot. Then probably create a space, but for now, temporarily, we could just maybe just leave that space.
Put a
right
little
in front of
green
it
line,
open.
food scraps.
Yeah.
It's a good idea. Okay.
Oh, I may have asked this question before, but what is MUGA?
Muga. I always-
Multi-use, multi-use gaming
I've been
area.
calling it Muya. So the way I differentiate it now is Muya is the burger place. Muga is the sports place. Muga, it's going to be it's a fenced-in area, has basketball hoops, and it'll be has soccer goals.
Can we
all in
click
one.
back?
Oh, it's just more than
Can we
one.
click back to the picture? No?
It's a multi-purpose.
It's
surface.
multi-purpose.
Multi-use
for-
gaming
for
area. That's what I'm trying to say.
basketball and soccer.
MUGA, multi-use
Yeah.
gaming
Okay.
area. So
I didn't know what it stood for. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got you.
that was that. Do you remember at GERLACH you saw there was like a structure? So it has basketball hoops
Oh, I
built
know that.
in. It has the soccer goals
I can understand.
built in, and then we just have to, what we have to do now is pave it so we have a nice smooth paved surface, and then line it. So that's gonna have to wait until the time
Mark's sleeping.
to, for, paving time, whatever, so when, a little spring. Yep, yep, that's. Oh,
Yeah.
close.
I didn't click anymore. Yeah.
I think it's up further, earlier. What's this slideshow on the top left? Up. Slideshow? Yeah. Up a little? Left?
Up a little more.
Oh, so close.
There you go.
There.
Now
Okay.
we can see it.
So can you see that the little sort of diagonally thing? That way is the goal. And you can actually enter through through there, and then you can see the little basketball hoop, and there's one on the far side too.
Yeah, I understand what it's about. I
Got
just
it.
didn't know.
Yeah, but I mean, I think it's confusing for anybody if you haven't seen it. So it's just kind of an all-in-one.
Yeah, once you're there and in it, it's
cool.
different because at first you see it, you're like,
Sorry I asked.
No, don't be don't be sorry, because I'm sure half of the audience at home that's watching this, which we know that's like 5,000 people, they're all wondering also. So thank you for clarifying, Councilman Wilcher. Okay, any other questions? Hearing none. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, next up we have liaison reports. Are there any? Not a one. Okay, so I think I know I mentioned in my update that last week we weren't here because we were at the Association of Towns conference, and Councilwoman Feldman and I attended, as well as a number of other members of our Madam Clerk attended, Terry Caffarelli attended, and our judges, our court staff, number of people from other staff members attended as well, and we got a lot of excellent training, a variety of topics, and we may have an opportunity coming up at a future work session to share some of that information with each other. Is there anybody here in the public who would like to comment on any of the agenda items? That's up next. Agenda items, comments from the public. Hearing none. We can move along to our board resolutions.
Approval of minutes, regular meeting, February 11th, 2020. Resolved that the town board of the town of Ossining hereby approves the February 11th, 2020 minutes of the regular meeting as presented.
Do I have a motion?
Second.
All those in favor? Aye. Opposed?
Approval of the voucher detail report. Resolved that the town board of the town of Ossining hereby approves the voucher detail report dated February 25th, 2020 for the amount of $594,153.69.
Do I have a motion?
Second.
Any questions or discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed?
Appointment, confidential secretary to the supervisor. Resolved that the town board of the town of Ossining appoints Karina Scorsia Ossining to the position of confidential secretary to the supervisor at a prorated annual salary of $48,500 effective March 9th, 2020.
Do I have a motion? So we recently, we are happy to have had the opportunity recently to meet with Karina Scorsia and to add her to our list of wonderful people in the supervisor's office as confidential secretary. Karina is an Ossining High School graduate and has remained actively involved in the community even after graduation and going away to college. And she's been working as a paralegal in town. We think she's going to be an excellent fit to our team, and we hope that she's going to catch us up on some important projects, as well as increase our presence on social media, because we know that that's something she's really good at, and other community outreach strategies. So, Karina, welcome. Anybody have any questions, comments?
Welcome.
All those in favor? Aye. Anybody opposed? Yay. Can't wait to have you in starting March 9th. Thanks, Karina. Okay, next up.
Resignation, part-time food service helper. Resolved that the town board of the town of Ossining accepts the resignation with regret of Constant DiBorgio from the position of part-time food service helper effective January 14th, 2020.
Do I have a motion?
Second.
So we recently learned that one of our longtime employees, Constance Del Borgo, has decided to resign from her position as part-time food service helper in the senior nutrition program to spend more time with her family. We thank Connie for her many, many years of service and wish her all the best in her future endeavors. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed?
Appointment to the Board of Assessment Review. Resolved that the town board of the town of Ossining appoints Valerie Cacchione to fill the unexpired term of the Board of Assessment Review set to expire on September 30th, 2024.
Do I have a motion?
Second.
So we're slowly but surely bringing all of our volunteer boards up to their full membership, including with tonight's appointment of Valerie Cacchione to the Board of Assessment Review. Valerie's a resident of the unincorporated town and has been a realtor in the Ossining area for many years. In addition to her professional career, she's been very involved in the Ossining schools, various youth sports teams, and as a board member of Torview Swim and Tennis Club. We think her experience and dedication to the community will make her an excellent addition to our Board of Assessment Review. Any questions or comments? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed?
Approval of contract, Title 3-B, Transportation Services Contract 2020. Resolved that the town board of the town of Ossining authorizes the supervisor to sign a contract with Westchester County Department of Senior Program and Services for Title 3-B Transportation Services for program year 2020 in the amount of $9,974, with the town of Ossining matching the contribution not to exceed $6,931.
Do I have a motion?
Second.
So this contract will allow us to receive grant funds through Westchester County to help fund the transportation offerings of our senior nutrition program. Thanks to our director, Kathy Asaro, for keeping up with all of these numerous and often lengthy contracts that help keep our senior nutrition program up and running. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed?
Finance 2019 Capital Project Transfer number 2015-5195, Munis Implementation and Establishment 2019 Capital Project number 2019-5225, Edmonds Implementation. Resolved that the town board of the town of Ossining authorizes a 2019 budget adjustment to Capital Project 2015-5195 entitled Munis Implementation, transferring the project budget balance of $36,201.63 to capital project number 2019-5225 entitled Edmonds Implementation, and closing project number 2015-5195. Additionally, a budget adjustment is authorized for project 2019-5225 entitled Edmonds Implementation to increase the project budget from $36,201.63 to $77,600 with an additional $41,398.38 funded by the fund balance transferred from multiple funds as follows. And all of those increases and decreases of the different funds will be posted on the wall at the clerk's office.
Do I have a motion?
So moved.
So tonight we have a number of cleanup resolutions from our finance staff as they prepare for our auditors when they come in late March and early April. This first resolution establishes a capital project for us to purchase the new financial software we are planning to bring online this year, Edmonds. As the resolution states, the funding will be coming from leftover funding from the setup of our current financial software, Munis, plus fund balance from several of our funds detailed in the resolution. We're excited to be moving forward with this new software for our finance department, and many of our other departments will also be using it. We think that we're going to have much better customer service and response than we had in the past, and we think that it's going to be easier for everybody to figure out where they are. So without further ado, all those in favor? Aye. Opposed?
Finance 2019, closed capital project 2016-5198, sanitation sewer improvements, Croton Dam and Kitchewan Road. Resolved that the town board of the town of Ossining authorizes capital project 5198, sanitary sewer improvements, Croton Dam and Kitchewan Road in the amount of $60,873 for sewer main relocation and new manholes to be closed, and the remaining balance to be transferred back to the consolidated sewer fund.
Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
So the next two resolutions are to close out two projects with less than $1 remaining in unspent funds in the capital project. These two resolutions will return what's remaining to the sewer fund and general fund. Did I already have a motion? Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Sorry about that. I lost track. Okay. Okay.
Finance 2019 closed capital project 2018-5211, reclamation paving Hawks Avenue. Resolved that the town board of the town of Ossining authorizes capital project 5211, reclamation and paving of Hawks Avenue in the amount of $174,446.02 to be closed, with the remaining balance to be transferred back into the general fund.
Do I have a motion?
Second.
All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? That's it.
Okay.
Go.
I was waiting for you to talk again.
Oh, no. Sorry. No, I already spoke about that one.
Okay,
Yeah.
great.
Good. Sorry.
Finance 2019 capital project 2019-52-5219, funding adjustment. 2019 Chrysler Pacifica van town nutrition. Resolved that the town board of the town of Ossining authorizes adjusting the revenue funding for the 2019 capital project 2019-5219 entitled 2019 Chrysler Pacifica van from the town nutrition department with a project budget of $38,400. The project will be funded from a transfer from the general fund of $35,900 and New York State grant funds of $2,500.
Do I have a motion?
Second.
Okay, so then these next two resolutions adjust the capital projects for the purchase of the Chrysler Pacifica plug-in hybrids we made in 2019 to account for the $2,500 rebate that we received from New York State DEC for each vehicle. So that was $5,000 that we got back for those two vehicles. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? And I feel like K, you don't need to read the whole thing because it's identical except for one thing, which is that it's a different vehicle. So the only thing that's,
So it's really finance 2019 capital project 2019-5220 adjustment for the 2019 Chrysler Pacifica Town Van Town Nutrition.
so do I have a motion?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Finance 2019 capital project budget adjustment 2017-5205 Gerlach Park revitalization. Resolved that the town board of the town of Austining authorizes a 2019 budget adjustment for capital project 5205 Gerlach Park revitalization to restore restrooms, pavilion site work, drainage, repaving around cement floor and service road. The increase of $56.19 to the current town budget, the current project budget of $110,662.18 is to be funded through a transfer from general fund balance.
Do I have a motion?
Second.
Another few cleanup resolutions. The capital project for restoration of Gerlach Park was over budget by a little more than $50, requiring the nominal amount to be transferred from general fund balance to complete the project. And again, this was a cleanup, I think, from 2017. So, all those in favor? Aye. Any opposed?
Finance 2019 capital project 2018-5212 adjustment. North State Road Bike Lane Phase 1. Resolved that the town board of the town of Austining authorize increasing the 2018 capital project 2018-5212 entitled the North State Road Bike Lane Phase 1 with a project budget of $80,000 for planning and Phase 1 implementation of a bike lane on North State Road to $80,416.61 for additional signage costs. The project increase will be funded through a transfer from general fund balance.
Do I have a motion?
Second.
So similarly, the capital project for North State Road ended up costing us slightly over what was anticipated and had received in state grant funding. And we received state grant funding in order to purchase the appropriate safety signage required for North State Road bike lane striping. I think most of that project was grant funded. The funds have been encumbered for this project already, and construction is anticipated to be completed in early spring. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed?
Finance 2019 capital project 2015-5197 resolution LED street and park lighting. Resolved that the town board of the town of Austining authorizes a 2019 budget adjustment for capital project 2015-5197 entitled LED street lighting, increasing the project budget from $200,000 to $230,000, $784.62, modifying the 2017 budget adjustment to recognize actual expenditures and close the capital project. The increase to the project funded by the lighting fund of $9,000 is for additional fixtures not contained in the original proposal and LED street lighting at Galtier Lane. Additionally, the general fund will be transferring the amount of $21,784.62 to the capital project for poles, wiring, and LED fixtures for Cedar Lane and RYDER Park. In order to recognize the larger scope of the project, and the project name shall be modified from LED street lighting to LED street park lighting. Funding for the additional $30,784.62 project is as follows. And that again, as all the others, the actual figures will be posted on the clerk's wall.
Do I have a motion?
Second.
So in 2015, we established the original capital project for LED street lighting, and in 2017, a resolution was adopted to increase the budget for the project, but was unfortunately not properly noted in our financial system. Tonight, we are adopting this resolution to close the loop on this project, and the good news is that we actually ended up spending less than anticipated as we close out this project. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? And the other good news is that by implementing LED lighting in all of these different places, we save a heck of a lot more money on our regular NYPA bills. So that's the really good news.
Tax certiorari. Sherwood Fee 1 LLC FKA Sherwood Townhouses FKA Eagle Rock Advisors as contractor vendee versus the town of Austin. Whereas proceeding President of Article 7 of the real property tax for the state of New York was instituted by Sherwood Fee L1 LLC, FKA Sherwood Townhomes, FKA Eagle Rock Advisors, as contract vendee against the Village of Austining, Town of Austining, New York, to review the tax assessments made by the petitioner's property located at 7 Sherwood Avenue and 135 Croton Avenue, Austining, New York, and designated on the tax assessment map of the town of Austining as Section 89.16, Block 2, Lot 83, 7 Sherwood Avenue, and Section 89.1, Block 2, Lot 88, 135 Croton Avenue, and for the tax assessment years of 2016 through 2018, which proceedings were now pending in the Supreme Court of the State of New York, County of Westchester, under index number 63915/2016, 64569/17, and 64917/18. And whereas the above petitioner has agreed to compromise and settlement in such proceedings, subject to the approval of the town board, correcting and reducing the assessed value of the real property and improvements as follows. Sherwood Fee 1 LLC, 7 Sherwood Avenue, and 135 Croton Avenue, Austining, New York. Do you want me to read that whole one, or is it? Okay. Again, the change in the assessment will be posted on the wall in the clerk's office, whereas any and all refunds necessitated by said settlement will be made without interest, and whereas the town board, upon the recommendation of the assessor, concurred by the council to the town, finds the proposed settlement appropriate and in the best interest of the town of Austining, now therefore be it resolved that settlement of the proceedings to the term set forth herein by hereby accepted and approved, subject to the approval of the Supreme Court, Westchester County, wherein such proceedings are pending. And it is further resolved that the council to the town hereby authorizes and directed to procure and execute any documents necessary to effectuate such settlement. And it is further resolved, subject to the approval of the Supreme Court, Westchester County, that the assessor is authorized and directed to make the changes and corrections to the individual unit assessments on the tax assessment roll from the town of Austining, which will be ordered pursuant with the consent judgment to be entered in accordance with the terms of this settlement, and the receiver of taxes is authorized and directed to proceed and pay the refund of town of Austining taxes estimated to be $291.61, which will be pursuant with the said consent judgment.
Do I have a motion?
So moved.
So this tax certiorari was approved by the Westchester County Court some time back, but was inadvertently never forwarded to the town board for approval. Tonight, we're approving the tax cert with a reduction in value for 2018 on one of the lots, with an anticipated tax refund of less than $300. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed?
Good. Appointment, Zoning Board of Appeals alternate. Resolved that the town board of the town of Austining appoints Tom Wills as an alternate member of the town of Austining Zoning Board of Appeals for a term to expire February 28th, 2021.
Do I have a motion? So this is the first appointment of an alternate to our land use boards since we approved legislation establishing these alternate positions last year. Tom has experience serving on similar boards from when he lived in Maine, and he's been in unincorporated part of Austining for some time, so we believe his past experience, his level-headed approach to decision making, and his being a member of this community, specifically he's very involved in the arts community, will make him an excellent candidate for the zoning board alternate. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Correspondence to be received and filed, we have none. So I will open it up to visitor recognition on any subject whatsoever. Guess who? Hi, Stanley.
Hey, this is a great opportunity. So thank you so much, to the town, to all the residents of the town, of the village of Austining. So, I guess this will be the last time I do it in this manner. So my name is Stanley Dorsonville. I am a district representative for Senator Carlucci, and just wanted to, let the folks at home, especially the students, know that on March 19th, there will be the Austining Student Advisory Council, where students will have the opportunity to speak with the senator and speak to issues that they're concerned about, and also prepare for a trip to Albany where they can become involved in a mock Senate Senate session where they will learn what it is like to be a state senator. So if you are a student at either Austining High School or Briarcliff High School, definitely reach out to your main office so that you can find out more information. But the details are that it will be from 6:30 to um, 8 o'clock p.m. on March 19th at the Austining Public Library on the second floor in the conference room. So thank you, and once again, thank you so much to the town, to just everyone for welcoming me into the family that exists here, and I look forward to keep on coming back and just getting involved. Yeah. Cool.
Thank you, Stanley.
Oh, and also, I just want to really, even more important, just want to make sure that the folks of Austining know that they will not be left in empty hands. They will be getting a great, a great district representative in Paul Manfredi. So, definitely the office will still be there to as a service and as a tool to your needs. So, yeah, all right. Talk to you guys soon.
Thanks, Stanley. Good luck. Okay. Without further ado, is there any other visitor recognition, any subject whatsoever? Could I have a motion to adjourn to executive session for advice of counsel, personnel, and contract?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Thank you, everyone, for joining us tonight. We'll see you next Tuesday, March 3rd, for a work session at 16 Croton